Hey guys, so today I just wanted to do kind of like a retrospective and agency update just to share with you guys what my journey has been like the past few months I've been doing my AI automation agency, just to give you guys kind of like a realistic look at what it would look like if you begin this, and what it would be. So for me, I started doing this around around May-ish. May-ish is when I started my automation agency. And now it's the end of September. So I would say May, June, July, August, September, about 5 months of me being in this. And during that time, I have gotten top rated on Upwork, 100% job success score. Um, I've earned over 9,000 on Upwork, 11 total jobs, 111 hours. That doesn't count. This is only for hourly work. It doesn't count project-based jobs I've done. Um, so in that time, I'm not going to show like everything I've done. But I can show a little bit. Like you can see, I've like profited about like 2,200 in that time. Which is not bad. I don't take any profit from the business. I just reinvest everything in order to help it to grow. Right. So if it is like me using that money to hire someone or to do something else that just allows the business to grow, that's what I'm mostly focused on. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna break down each of these jobs one by one. Gonna talk about how I found the client who stood out to them, what the project consisted of, and what my reflection or my feedback on it is in general, right? So this is one of my earlier projects. They needed the lead generation specialist, and it was commission based. Because I was so new on Upwork at the time is why I took this job. As you can see there, it says $30, which obviously is completely low for any kind of job. I would say, like, what are you going to do with $30? So I took it just as it was one of my first jobs, just to have something on here. The thing I will say about that is I don't recommend it for new people even, because you guys can see, like I said, I started in May and this job got posted on my profile August 20th, right? So, and by August 20th, I already had like other jobs that actually came and matched my skill set by that time. So I'm just going to say that you shouldn't feel as if you have to take the lowest paying job. Like I understand, obviously you can't charge a premium rate at the beginning, but the thing you need to understand is that like if you can actually just show that value in the Loom videos you're sending in your proposals and just continue to deliver value, people are going to want to work with you, even if you're not the absolute cheapest person out there, right? So, yeah, I would say don't take super cheap jobs. This is what they say commission based, but the problem with commission based things is like if you can't actually guarantee a sale based on the work you do, which obviously I couldn't in this case, then like, you may never get paid and then you do a bunch of work for free, right? So I'm just saying that to be aware that like, again, this is a job I got into in May, and even till now, like it kind of dragged out and I'm still just doing like free work, and it's not something I recommend. So, yeah, but again, it's just, they're all lessons and learning lessons. This is one I did for a filmmaker. Basically needed to automatically scrape leads from multiple different sources, right? Now this was a decent one, 764. Again, at that time, was a decent pay for me, so I didn't mind. I actually didn't negotiate with them as well, so I would say also always make sure you negotiate whenever someone offers you, because you never know what they can really afford or what they're willing to go up to. And I did negotiate when I saw this. I would say my feedback in terms of this job was that there was scope creep. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't define the scope as well as I could have when I took this job, and because of that, like there were times when I felt like I was doing way more than was originally planned for it. And so I would say like make sure that whenever you go into a project with a client, that from the beginning you're very upfront about what you're going to do, and that anything else that's going to be added on is going to be an extra cost, right? Just make sure you outline those things. Now, it's always tough because once you start the project, you begin to do it and realize you ran into other things you didn't think about. But as much as you can, try to keep a very solid scope of work, so that you don't end up with this script key issue. Because script key can really just cause you to be like disgruntled. Okay, we'll talk about this one, the prompt engineer job. So for this job, basically the client wanted me to create like VO3 videos in like a particular style that we're looking for. So this is more of a test job, to be honest. As you can see, they pay me 40 for 3 hours. I got 120 at the end of that. It was just a fun little job. Wasn't really much of anything. At the time, VO3 had just kind of launched, and I was really just trying to see what, the market for people that could use it were. So why I took that job. And, I think you can definitely make money with VO3. It's just like generative AI can be so inconsistent and take a lot of massaging to have it consistently run. I've seen people make workflows out of them. Robo Nuggets is one. So I know it's out there, but for me, I just didn't know if it was something I wanted to continue doing. So it was a fun little test. But yeah. So for this job, this was a contracting office, and they needed me to help them create like a daily job report form. And this was kind of a combination of working with Google Sheets and Make.com. Not that much AI inside of it. So this was more of an automation job. And I think this just comes to show that like not every single job needs AI, right? Some jobs, it's purely automation. And that's what I built for them. And so it was a good job all around. I don't really have much complaints or even comments. It was just something I did. Again, one of my earlier hires, they hired me because they said they saw Google in my bio, and they were having issues with their Google form, even though the two aren't that related. But again, that's why it's important to complete every part of your profile, because you never know what a client is going to be looking at any given time that's going to make them willing to hire you. So we go over to the Make.com automation specialist needed. For this, basically the customer wanted me to create a Make.com automation that would help them post on Pinterest multiple times across different boards and pins from different ideas, right? So I think this, again, one of my early issues I always kept facing was scope creep. This is a fixed price of 130, which is higher than the 30 I showed you guys initially, but 130 is still a bit low. And I create an automation for them, and then they come back with a bunch of revisions, and then keeps going and going and going and going for so long. For me, I think that's something I really need to improve on, is being like, hey, this is the scope. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do for this price. And if anything you want more, we're going to add it and agree, right? So that was a mistake I made there. But again, everything's a learning process. And, I got $130 from it. Cool. The last one, it was an automation that takes YouTube videos to a podcasts. And so this was kind of just like a solo small creator on YouTube, and I was just helping him to create this for him. Obviously didn't pay much. It was like 20 an hour for 120. But I think just like, again, it being one of my first few jobs allowed me to just see what the process on Upwork was and how it is like working with the client, right? So these are a few of the jobs I've done. Then I have a few more in progress, so maybe I'll talk more about those once they're done. But yeah, I just wanted to give this update about, what the kind of work I'm doing is, where I am in my automation journey, and hopefully I can continue to grow to get even bigger, right? So anyway, I hope you guys like the style of video. Let me know your comments in below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.